I know there are some flaming Arminians who tell us that a man may persevere until he comes to die, and yet perish in almost the very article of death. And they illustrate this wretched, God-dishonoring, and soul-shocking doctrine by the simile of a ship's foundering in the harbor's mouth. It is very true that some wooden vessels have so perished, but it is no less true that all God's chosen vessels are infallibly safe from so perishing. For through his goodness, every one of them is insured by him whom the winds and seas, both literal and metaphorical, obey. And their insurance runs thus: when thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee. And when through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. The ransomed of the Lord shall return and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads. So far from foundering within sight of land, even an earthly parent is particularly careful and tender of a dying child, and surely when God's children are in that situation, he will, speaking after the manner of men, be doubly gracious to his helpless offspring, who are his by election, by adoption, by covenant, by redemption, by regeneration, and by 1,000 other indissoluble ties. There are no marks of shipwrecks, no remnants of lost vessels floating upon that sea which flows between God's Jerusalem below and the Jerusalem which is above. The excellent Dr. William Gouge has an observation full to the present point. If a man, says he, were cast into a river, we should look upon him as safe while he was able to keep his head above water. The church, Christ's mystic body, is cast into the sea of the world and afterwards into the sea of death. And Christ, their head, keeps himself aloft even in heaven. Is there then any fear or possibility of drowning a member of this body? If any should be drowned, then either Christ himself must be drowned first, or else that member must be pulled from Christ, both which are impossible. By virtue, therefore, of this union, we see that on Christ's safety ours depends. If he is safe, so are we. If we perish, so must he. Well, therefore, may dying believers sing, not unto us, O Lord, but to thy name give glory. Thy loving mercy carries us when we cannot go, and for thy truth's sake thou wilt save us to the utmost without the loss of one.